We'll step through the agenda. The first item, just to call your attention to, again, is a reminder that you'll be selecting vice mayor. I will not put my name in for that this year. And then you have one speaker on the public agenda. Go to page 2. Number 1 under new business. This is just establishing the design budgets for 3 projects. There are 2 paving projects or improvements on West Street, and then the construction of the Amadon Bridge. And so this is just the design for those 3 projects. I don't think we've selected design teams yet. This is just to go ahead and authorize the expenditures. Number 2 is the use of CDBG CARES Act funding to supplement funding that we have sent to the Substance Abuse Center, Mental Health Association, and Open Door for homeless case management services. So this will give us more assistance to those agencies. Number 3 is the selection of the design team for the Riverfront Stadium Sports Museum, and then also a contract with NBC Foundation to accumulate the memorabilia and also to curate it, provide us documentation and information that can be used in exhibits in the museum.
And I'm not sure, I haven't had time to look at the agenda report, but if people have questions, Councilmember Fry and I and the city manager were in on those interviews. So if you have questions, you could direct those to us.
Right. I will, thank you. Okay. Number 4 is, and by the way, I'm really excited about the design team. I think we're going to have a really exciting facility.
I've heard it's really interactive.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's cool. Great. That's awesome.
Right. Number 4 is formal approval of the legislative agenda for 2021. Page 3, number 5. If you followed what was in the new stimulus bill, that included funding for emergency rental assistance. And cities our size are entitled to apply directly for that. The states will also receive funding. It's to provide rent and utility assistance. We can look backwards and it will go forward. And it's to basically to help those who would be in risk of homelessness. So there's income guidelines. We estimate, based on the early information, that we could get about $12 million in rent assistance. So this is substantial.
$12 million over how long of a period of time?
Basically, I think the program expires at the end of 21. But I think you can, I'll let Sally on Tuesday, and it's in the report as well, talk about the guidelines and the length of period of time. They do recapture funds later in 21 before the end of the year, so they can reprogram those if necessary. So it's, again, it'll depend on us how much we can commit.
I'll be curious to read it.
The kind of demand, yep. And this is good because if I remember correctly, I believe this assistance goes directly to the utility and to the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm,
good.
Yeah. We've also reached out to the county to see if they want to participate, and we could do the administration for them if that's the case. But we haven't firmed that up yet. Number 1 under the non-consent airport agenda, there's a lot of moving pieces here. This is for the fuel storage project, and this is rehabilitation and conversion of the fuel storage tanks at the airport. Because of age, they've needed significant work, and plus we're switching over in some of the cases to jet fuel. You would formally designate Kier Civil as the construction manager at risk for the project. We went through a selection process. If you remember, we kind of paused and formalized the process, and then there had been a concern at one point regarding the use of local contractors, and I think our staff's able to talk about how local contractors will be integrated into the project. And then you would amend the design contract we have with Courier and Company to recognize design work that's required for the next phase. And then you would also establish the GMP, the guaranteed maximum price for phase 2A, which will refurbish 3 tanks and converts 2 tanks to jet fuel. So, as I said, a lot of moving pieces. And nothing on page 4. On page 5, number 3 is a reallocation of about $16,800 in CDBG COVID funds for another 12 weeks of food box deliveries to 4 senior housing facilities.
This just brings me so much joy, I
I
have
know.
to say. And I'm gonna reach out again to Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas and let them know that, this project, they were the genesis of this project by allocating the funding to begin with. So my only, and fear is way too big of a word, but, when this ends,
Yeah.
you just hope that the seniors understand that this isn't ongoing and that at some point they will have to allocate this funding into their own budget again. But it's just great to have it in the meantime to help people get by.
Yeah.
I applaud the housing staff for making this continue.
I'm hoping that there will still be some funding until we're, on the other end of the COVID
Yeah.
pandemic. So. And then number 4 is leasing of 180 parking spaces at the Market and William Garage to High Touch for a 5-year period. And the fee structure is outlined in the staff report.
Is this a new lease?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an extension. It's not,
Yeah.
we didn't use it, we didn't do it, we negotiated a new lease, but they have been leasing spaces in this garage, yeah. That is all I have. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Anything else? Councilmember Blueball, you have anything?
I don't. Thank you very much. Councilmember Fry and I had I thought, a pretty good council chat this morning. I think we went on for about 25 minutes, but kind of excited to do that. So just looking forward to getting in here and getting this 2021 stuff done. So thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, everyone have a great weekend.
Thank you, you
Thank
too.
you. Brandon, do you have a few seconds?